A doctor or lawyer, although he passed his examination in college, does not know all the laws and does not know all the techniques of medicine, but he has the fundamental knowledge. When he wants a particular kind of knowledge, he goes to the medical books or law books and refers to the particular law or how to use the recipe of medicine. You must therefore know where to find your facts and use them as you want them. No one will know where you get them, but you will have the facts, and by using the facts correctly, they will think you a wonderful person, a great genius, and a trusted leader. In reading, it is not necessary or compulsory that you agree with everything you read. You must always use or apply your own reasoning to what you have read based upon what you already know as touching the facts on what you have read. Pass judgment on what you read based on the facts. When I say facts, I mean things that cannot be disputed. You may read thoughts that are old and opinions that are old and have changed since they were written. You must always search to find out the latest facts on that particular subject. And only when these facts are consistently maintained in what you read should you agree with them. Otherwise, you are entitled to your own opinion. Always have up-to-date knowledge. You can gather this from the latest books and the latest periodicals, journals, and newspapers. Read your daily newspaper every day. Read a standard monthly journal every month, a standard weekly magazine every week, a standard quarterly magazine every quarter, and by this you will find the new knowledge of the whole year in addition in the books you read whose facts have not altered in that year. Don't keep old ideas. If you know what others do not know, they will want to hear you. You will then become invaluable in your community and to your country, because men and women will want to hear you and see you everywhere. As stated before, books are one's best companions. Try to get them and keep them. A method of doing so is every time you have 10 cents or 25 cents or $1 to spend foolishly, either on your friends or yourself, think how much more useful if that 10 or 20 cents or dollar would be invested in a book, and so invest it. It may be just the thing you have been looking for to give you a thought by which you may win the heart of the world. The 10 cents, 25 cents, or $1, therefore, may turn out to be an investment of worth to the extent of $1 million. Never lend anybody the book that you want. You will never get it back. Never allow anybody to go to your bookshelf in your absence, because the very book that you may want most may be taken from the shelf, and you may never be able to get one of that kind again. If you have a library of your own, lock it when you are not at home. Spend most of your spare time in your library. If you have a radio, keep it in your library, and use it exhaustively to listen to lectures, recitals, speeches, and good music. You can learn a lot from the radio. You can be inspired a lot by good music. Good music carries the sentiment of harmony, and you may think many a good thought out of listening to good music. Read a chapter of the Bible every day, Old and New Testaments. The greatest wisdom of the age is to be found in the Scriptures. You can always quote from the Scriptures. It is the quickest way of winning approval. Tragedy of white injustice. Number 1. Read and study thoroughly the poem, Tragedy of White Injustice, and apply its sentiment and statements in connection with the historic character and behavior of the white man. Know it so well to be able to be on guard against any professions of the white man in his suggested friendship for the Negro. The poem exposes the white man's behavior in history and is intended to suggest distrust of him in every phase of life. Never allow it to get into the hands of a white man if possible. Number 2, you can improve your English as you go along by reading critically the books of the language. That is to say, you must pay close attention to the construction of sentences and paragraphs as you see them in the books you read. Imitate the style. Read with observation. Never read carelessly and recklessly. Number 3. In reading books written by white authors of whatsoever kind, be aware of the fact that they are not written for your particular benefit or for the benefit of your race. They always write for their own point of view and only in the interest of their own race. Never swallow wholly what the white man writes or says without first critically analyzing it and investigating it. The white man's tricks is to deceive other people for his own benefit and profit. Always be on your guard against him in whatever he does or says. Never take chances with him. His school books in the elementary and high schools, colleges, and universities are all fixed up to suit his own purposes, to put him on top and to keep him on top of other people. Don't trust him. Beware, beware. You should study carefully the subject of ethnology. It is the subject that causes races to know the difference between one race and another. Ethnic relationships are important, for they reveal the characteristics of one people as different from another. There is no doubt that each race has different habits and manners of behavior. You must know them so as to be able to deal with them. There are books on this subject in the library. In your reading and searching for truth, always try to get that which is particularly helpful to the Negro. Every thought that strikes you, see how it fits in with the Negro, and to what extent you can use it to his benefit or in his behalf. Your entire obsession must be to see things from the Negro's point of view, remembering always that you are a Negro striving for Negro supremacy in every department of life, so that any truth you see or any fact you gather must be twisted to suit the Negro psychology of things. The educational system of today hides the truth as far as the Negro is concerned. Therefore, you must searchingly scan everything you read, particularly his story, to see what you can pick out for the good of the race. For instance, you will read that the Egyptians were a great people, the Carthaginians, Libyans, etc., but you will not be told that they were black people or Negroes.